This is Seawolves. Storm or not.
Welcome to Seawolves Storm or Not. I'm Daniela Rodriguez.
And I'm Missy Jones. Last Monday, we led our broadcast with the news of a 7.8 magnitude earthquake that struck the Middle East. All week, we have been watching rescue efforts in Turkey and Syria. The UN says that the death toll has risen to some 34,000 people, and that number is expected to double. In part, that is because Syria is in the middle of a civil war, and in Turkey, it turns out a lot of the buildings did not meet safety standards. The Turkish government says that over 1 million people are living in shelters.
In another link to news we recently reported, there are flying objects being shot down by the U.S. military. Some say another one last week was the size of a small car. Another was described as a cylindrical object. 2 were shot down over the weekend near the Canadian border, and the 4th object was shot down near Lake Huron. No one knows if they are weather balloons, despite what the Chinese government is claiming them to be.
That's a lot of flying objects, but Daniela, do you think we will have World War III?
Well, I'm no conspiracy theorist, Missy, but it definitely is a possibility and our worst case scenario. Hopefully our American scientists can find out what's going on with these objects and balloons, but we have our very own scientists here in the studio. We have meteorologist Costa Sakilarides outside with today's weather. Costa?
Thank you. Those overnight showers have left behind a nice but chilly Monday with a high of 50 and a low of 35 under partly sunny skies and a north wind at about 15 miles per hour. Sam will have that 7-day forecast later on, including that very important Valentine's Day forecast. And whether you're spending tomorrow with your significant other or it's a me, myself, and I type of day, remember, chocolates are always cheaper on February 15th. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Costa. I'm a chocolate fanatic. What's your favorite kind of chocolate, Daniela?
Well, Missy, I am no chocolate fan, but I do like me some 90% cacao. Do you think you're going to be expecting any Valentine's Day gifts?
Hopefully in the mail. My boyfriend's away at school in Tennessee, so he better send something unless he wants to be in the doghouse when he comes back home.
And tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Christine Kelly tells us more about the most and least romantic spots on campus for the holiday that celebrates love. Christine?
Valentine's Day has come a long way since its origins as the feast day of a Roman Christian martyr. To me, Valentine's Day just means my 24th birthday. But we're going to ask some Stony Brook students what they think of Valentine's Day and what the holiday means to them.
And the most important part about Valentine's Day to me is just showing the love that people mean to you. So whether that's platonic love, romantic love, family love, all types of love, expressing to them what it means to show them love and how them showing you love makes you feel as well.
Valentine's Day means getting closer to the people you love. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be with someone in a romantic way. It could just be making a phone call to your family or to your loved ones and just reaching out and appreciating their support.
I think Valentine's Day is about self-love. A lot of people focus on loving others, which is okay and all, but you also should love yourself first, and that love will be gravitated towards you back.
I do not feel anything special about this day because I feel like every day should be celebrated like with love and caring our loved ones and stuff. So I am not a very big fan.
It means expressing love to one another, you know what I mean? It's not one-sided. You know, I think a lot of people's personification of Valentine's Day is they have to, you know, show love to only the woman, but, you know, men need love as well. You know, men are human as well. I think that's a misconception that goes on. It's providing love for one another, reminding each other, you know, how much you mean to each other.
So there you have it, several different perspectives on Valentine's Day. We also asked students what they consider to be the most and least romantic spots on campus.
I think the most romantic spot on campus for me is the Chem building because that's where I do all my research and I love my research. And probably the least romantic spot, probably one of the dorms in Roth. They don't look the best.
I would say the most romantic spot on campus to me would be the quad, I guess, at night. Walking around the quad is usually very lit up and it's peaceful, it's quiet, no one's around, it's just you and nature.
The most romantic spot on campus, I never thought of that. I would say probably if you go by Wang and just eat by Wang, like it's a calm setting, you know what I'm saying? you know, it fits you know, a date kind of setting, if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Is there a least romantic spot?
Least romantic spot? I mean, probably here. It's not romantic at all.
So there you have it. Don't go to Roth or the Student Activity Center for your first date. For Stony Brook, Storm or Not, I'm Christine Kelly, signing off.
Thanks, Christine. And Missy, do you think that there's a romantic spot on campus?
As far as I'm concerned, there's not many romantic spots here at Stony Brook, at least not in the winter. At least in spring, we do have the cherry blossom trees that come in bloom, which are beautiful and can be romantic. And now for the 7-day forecast, we have Sam Lankowitz. Sam, tell us, will we be seeing any snow at all this week?
Thanks, Missy. We aren't going to have snow this week. We are looking at a mild week of weather ahead of us here in Stony Brook. Today we have a high around 50 degrees, and overnight we have a weak cold front bringing temperatures in the low 30s. Tuesday, skies will clear up and will be beautiful and sunny just in time for Valentine's Day. We have temperatures above average with a high near 50 and lows in the 30s. Wednesday, temperatures will continue to rise throughout the week. We have a high of 54 degrees and a low of 44 degrees. Wednesday will also be pretty breezy with a south wind with gusts reaching as high as 28 miles per hour. Looking at the rest of the week, we have a warm front moving into the region on Thursday. We have a high of 58 degrees and a low of 48. On Thursday, we can also expect to see some showers in the late afternoon and into the evening. It will also be moving into Friday, where we will be mostly rain on Friday with a high of 56 degrees and a cold front moving in fast overnight with a low of 23 degrees. The rest of the weekend looks pretty good. We will be mostly sunny with a high of 39 on Saturday, a low of 33, and Sunday just a little bit warmer with a high of 48 and a low of 43. So perfect to wrap up the rest of your plans for Valentine's Day week. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. Super Bowl 57 is over, but the talk of the commercials is not. Here's a look at some of our favorite clips.
They shallant. They shan't. Is it shallant or shan't?
It's neither. I used to be pretty clueless about shots. Like when I
Will
heard
Ferrell
I could
and Alicia
save my bank
Silverstone were just a few of our favorite moments that made their way onto our screens.
According to CBS, each 30-second ad spot costs about $7 million to air during the Super Bowl.
So one thing we can agree on is that the Clueless commercial was fantastic.
It was very sensational and such a throwback. However, we disagree on who we're rooting for.
Yes, that's right. The Kansas City Chiefs shot out and took out my birds, and it was devastating to say the least. And more on this is Chase Carucci. Chase?
Thanks, Daniela. New Yorkers can finally rejoice as the Empire State Building is no longer shining Eagles colors, and Philadelphia has lost yet another championship. Super Bowl 57 last night saw the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles by a final score of 38-35. The Chiefs made history last night, becoming just the second team to ever come back from a double-digit deficit at halftime, which was previously held by Tom Brady and the New England Patriots back in 2017. There are twos everywhere for Patrick Mahomes, as he is now a two-time MVP, a two-time Super Bowl champion, and a two-time Super Bowl MVP. Now to more local sports. The Stony Brook women's basketball team beat Hofstra in the battle for Long Island on Sunday at their Play for K-Wow Cancer Fund game. The Seawolves improved to 14-9 as they defeated their Cross Island rivals by 70-60. Anastasia Warren was scorching hot yesterday as she drilled 5 threes to go along with a team-leading 19 points. I'm looking for the Seawolves to continue their run through February, but we'll see what happens. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chase. The Puppy Bowl returned for its 19th year yesterday. This was the biggest puppy bowl to date. 122 puppies represented 67 shelters from 34 states, and Team Fluff took home the trophy, winning 87-83 over Team Rough.
How adorable. I love puppies, and I can't wait until next year. But for now, this marks the end of this week's Seawolves Storm or Not.
And have a very happy Valentine's Day, Seawolves.
This is Seawolves Storm or Not.